everyone, and welcome to this video where I'll be talking about a subject that I thought is crucial and has to be addressed because there are a lot of people that have misconceptions about the Yakuza series. It's not surprising to hear these days that Yakuza is just another ripoff of GTA or Sleeping Dogs, when it's a whole different game with its own mechanics, elements, and a unique story with unique characters. Without further ado, let's get right into the topic. Let me start off by saying this isn't just a random sandbox series that clones bigger games like GTA. This is a separate series with its own story, its own characters that go through different conflicts, trials and tribulations throughout the series. It's a series with a rich story that's been there ever since 2005. After the story, emphasis on after, comes the expansive and wide variety of side content that you are able to enjoy, such as sub-stories and mini-games. You can do these mini-games or sub-stories in between the story in case players want to take a break. So if you are getting into a Yakuza game expecting a GTA-like experience, then turn around right now because it is in no way similar to GTA, and this video will explain why. Contrary to some people's belief, it isn't a bland, massive open-world game. It's more like an open district game. It's a beat-em-up with RPG elements. You can find random encounters and shops or places to visit, just like RPG games. While GTA is purely an open-world experience, meaning just about everything is available from the beginning, and you can advance as far as the game will allow you. Speaking of combat, there are guns in Yakuza, but it can be only used in random encounters and boss fights, which is another thing that Yakuza traditionally has in each game, by the way. But the gunplay is far more used in GTA. A lot of missions have you shooting something, or driving, or racing, or escorting, and you see few missions with hand-to-hand combat here and there. As for Yakuza, the combat system is essentially centered around hand-to-hand, not guns. Because of that, you will find more satisfaction in fighting rather than using guns, simply because the combat system is deep and has different techniques for you to pull off and master. And that's basically how Yakuza's combat is. A lot of people say that Yakuza is just another ripoff of Sleeping Dogs. To those people, let me make something very clear. Sleeping Dogs was first released on August 2012. That's only 4 years ago. As for Yakuza, however, the first game was released on December 2005. By the time Sleeping Dogs was released, there had already been Yakuza 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, enough said. Most, if not all of the fights in this series are out of self-defense. The enemies come to you. Or if it's in the story, the main character is not usually the aggressor. See, you can't just go around beating random citizens. I'm sure you can guess why. Lo and behold, it's because it's not GTA, see? Not only that, but two of Yakuza's main themes are humanity and retribution. Whenever it comes to fighting, it's not just about beating up random punks and violence. It's about facing your fears and cutting through obstacles that threaten the characters' lives in the story. In Yakuza, protagonists have their own unique fighting styles that define who they are in different ways. Let's take a look at Yakuza 0 for example. Kiryu is only 20 years old in this game since it's a prequel. He does not have as much experience and grace as much as later in the series. His default fighting style in this game is unrefined and raw compared to what it becomes later in the series. In a way, it symbolizes his lack of experience as a newcomer in the Yakuza world. Majima, on the other hand, is older than Kiryu in this game by 4 years. He has more experience than Kiryu, and it can be clearly shown in his default fighting style, which displays crystal clear elegance and grace, and overall looks more professional and refined. Meanwhile, in GTA or Sleeping Dogs, you get this. How does that make Yakuza's combat a ripoff again? Anyway, unlike sleeping dogs or GTA, driving is not a thing in the Yakuza series. You have taxis instead, and you pay them to transport you from a location to another, especially since you're in a city that has a lot of alleyways and it doesn't take more than a minute or two to reach your destination. Remember that when reviewers tell you that it's like GTA, they mean to say that it's open world, and we've already established that it's an open district game, not open world. Now, I may be going a little off topic here, but one thing that bothered me is that Sega don't seem to talk about the story or the characters much in their interviews or trailers of Yakuza. I mean, the characters are undeniably one of the most important things that define the series and distinguishes the series from other games, yet we don't see them being properly presented in the trailers or presentations. Usually you'll see what feels like, oh look, the Dragon of Dojima's back to kick some Yakuza ass. Violence, edgy, dive into the underground of Tokyo and do some bad shit today. I'm sorry, but no, okay? The story and the characters go much deeper than simply being about violence and kicking Yakuza ass. These are characters that go through different types of conflicts and dilemmas throughout the series. It's how they deal with these problems that fleshes out their personalities and who they are. And it's from these experiences that the characters go through that we realize how great they are. Bottom line, Yakuza really is a unique series with its own game mechanics, unique story, and immersive content. There are so much content in the series that I feel like the trailers, especially the Western ones, can't even come close to explaining how amazing this series is and just how much it has to offer. I truly cannot understand why people go for incomplete games or games that have a shit ton of DLCs when this series exists. But then again, I suppose the mediocre marketing for the series doesn't help either. The Japanese GTA, am I right? Like, how about showing these characters and a little of their conflicts and developments in the trailers instead? To show that this series does have a story of its own that makes it stand out from other games and isn't only about beating random Japanese thugs. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. Please share it to whoever you may want to introduce this series to so that they could possibly get the right idea about the series. Also, huge thanks to some of my viewers for sharing their thoughts and opinions about this matter. Apologies for the voice quality. I am not equipped with the best voice recording equipment, but I felt like using my voice was necessary for this video. Hopefully it was good enough though. That's all for now. Until next time.